You're listening to Counterclockwise, where we decide the best of unimportant categories. How are you there, sir?
I'm okay. Yeah, I mean,
A little sluggish day.
A little sluggish today. Yeah, I say it every year. I think we all say it, but we're like a week away from Christmas. It's so it's weird.
It's so fast. Yeah,
it's so strange.
It's coming in quick. Doesn't quite. I don't know. Do you have the Christmas vibe going yet?
I haven't for the last 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little tough.
Yeah.
This one's a little better for me, anyway.
Yeah.
We at least had that kind of cold stretch there for a couple of days where it actually felt like Christmas time.
Yeah.
And not just like the weather we have today where it's like 40 and rainy.
Not to be a total downer, but I don't really have the motivation to put up Christmas stuff by myself.
Yeah, that's a little tough too.
So.
Yeah. But
other than that,
on a lighter note, yeah. Shifting gears to, something bright and shiny, whatever that means. I think I was combining sunny and shiny. Anyway, the gingerbread man after my own heart across the table from me is my jolliest brother. It's ironic now. Brandon Wise. I'm Tyler Wise. And up next, we're going to have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap dance with Danny fucking Kaye. Ultimate Showdown Christmas Special 2024. Coming up in about 23 seconds.
So I told you off air last week when I was bartending.
Yeah.
And this guy was doing what bartenders or bar goers do. They drink and they drink and they don't stop drinking. And long story short, he was out in the back patio, tripped on a chair, like on one of those stools, and like face planted the wooden fence, like fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like it sounded like thunder. And I was like, yeah, he's gonna feel that. He's gonna feel that hard in the morning. Well,
he said he got like he was like walking past one of the high top tables and his foot got caught. Or something?
He was walking between. I think he was going to sit down, and his foot just because he's so drunk, blackout drunk, his foot got caught, and he just tripped and just bam right into it, and it was so funny. So I'm working last night, and he shows up. And he was like, "You were the bartender here last week, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, I just, he's like apologizing. He's like, I'm so embarrassed." And I'm like, "Dude, everybody's had one of those nights. It's not a big deal. You're not." He was like afraid we were gonna ban him. I'm like, it takes a hell of a lot for us to ban people, right? And I'm like, you drinking at a bar. Yeah, I mean, you weren't like he wasn't
hurting yourself,
right? He wasn't. Yeah, and. He's like, I just remember waking up and my head hurt and I had this and I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you exactly what happened. And I told him and everything and then he kept, I'm so sorry, and I just want you to know that's not who I am. And I'm like, okay, first couple times, okay, yeah, no big deal. Look, you're good. But the problem is when you're doing it every 20 minutes.
It wasn't even like one conversation.
He just kept bringing it up.
Oh, he kept circling back to that. Oh, jeez.
And like I'd go help other customers, or I'd converse with other people.
Yeah.
And then I'd come back to him, and he'd bring it back up, and I'm like thinking, if you don't stop apologizing, I'm gonna throw you under the fence again.
Yeah, it's gonna be a problem.
There is such a thing as apologizing too much.
Yeah, it's like. I said it was fine.
I know you're sorry. I know you're embarrassed. It's fine.
Yeah.
I literally forgot all about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand that. Just be done with it. Don't do it again, and then it won't become a pattern. And then you don't have to worry about it becoming the thing that you're known for.
And, of course, he was the last guy to leave because he was drunk because he was buying pull tabs. Like, he was really struggling to put the money in the thing. And
I'm sure, yeah.
Jeez. So finally, they kicked him out, and they were like, you didn't know. No, just go home.
Yeah.
You're not going to win. Just go home.
Yeah, no. He was feeling the Christmas spirit. Could you say is that what he was feeling, warm and fuzzy inside?
I bet he probably feels like he got ran over by a reindeer.
Yeah, probably. Right in the forehead.
Fucking
right
eye, like right by the temple. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. But anyway, this is our Christmas special, Ultimate Showdown. I feel like all of our Ultimate Showdowns have been themed lately. I think we had that one where it was not. You asked for it not to be, and then I still made it themed because I couldn't do it otherwise.
Oh, the off the rails. You made
one.
It all rail related.
Yeah. It helps to have something narrow to kind of fit them into. Otherwise,
I think it's more or less. It's like a cop out. I feel like it's kind of a cop out for us because we don't want to like research our regular ideas. So we're just like, let's just put something. Yeah, we'll just put something fun together.
We'll just brainstorm for a couple of minutes, and that's fine. No research needed. But I can't remember how we did this before. But do we do the national anthem before or after the dark matches? Because don't you usually put it on air?
I think before the Cleveland-Pittsburgh showdown we did. I think we did it before the main card, after the dark matches.
After the dark match. Okay. So you had one dark match?
Yeah.
You want to do that one first?
I can, if you want.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it's just a regular dark. It's just a regular tag team match. We've got Lee Christmas from The Expendables.
Oh, okay.
It's Jason Statham's character.
Yeah, I forgot that. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then he's tagging with Lloyd Christmas of Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Versus Jon Snow of Game of Thrones and Al Snow, the wrestler from the 90s.
Oh, okay.
And his big thing was he would carry a big mannequin head.
Oh, yeah.
Because the 90s was very edgy, right?
Yeah.
Part of his music was, "What does everybody want? Head." And it was just him holding this like female mannequin head.
Oh, boy.
Fun fact, he's actually I believe he's from Lima, Ohio.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Sir Alex Schaefer told me.
Yeah.
I believe he grew up in the same hometown as his parents did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. So who ended up winning that one?
I have the Snows.
Yeah.
Because, Lee Christmas, he's a badass, but he's a one-man show.
Yeah, he's got a handicap there with Lloyd.
Yeah.
Although I feel he might be able to Looney Tunes style accidentally do something good. Like he's trying one thing and then he ends up accidentally punching somebody else.
Yeah, I mean I feel like Jon Snow just immediately kills Lloyd.
Yeah, that too probably.
So it's just 2-on-1 before Lee Christmas can just do anything.
Yeah.
So I have the Snows winning that one.
Yeah. All right. I had a couple here. These are the one you're gonna hate me for, as usual. The first one I have is Santa Claus Classic.
Sure.
I put Santa Claus with an E because this is the Tim Allen Santa Claus. In a handicap match, a 2-on-1 handicap match against Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna and Klaus, the talking fish from American Dad. So we got Santa Anna and Klaus versus Santa Claus. I had Santa Claus taking that one in kind of an upset. Klaus doesn't really add much to the table there, but early on, Santa Anna had the military background.
Yeah.
He dominates early on, but then he gets a little strategy help, a little trash talk from the fish.
Right.
But then Santa Claus, he's got a little bit of magic.
Right.
He uses that magic to kind of subdue Santa Anna just for a minute, and then he just goes and he just pins Klaus.
Sure.
I mean, he's a fish.
Yeah.
So.
Just pour out the bowl.
Yeah.
You don't even need to pin him.
Just one finger on it.
Yeah, you don't even need to pin him.
It's a count out. Yeah. You just.
No, I'm just saying.
One.
I'm just saying.
It's a death match?
Just die.
Yeah. Well, that's due. All right. So the next.
Santa Claus has got to do whatever he can to preserve Christmas.
Yeah. Okay. So the first one. The next one.
The second one.
The third one that we're doing now. The next one I have is Krampus.
Yep.
Versus a horse named Charlie.
Okay.
I'm just going to let that one simmer for a bit.
Yep.
I had Krampus taking that one.
Sure.
I mean, pretty one-sided affair there. So
You ever watch-
there's a reason it's a dark match.
You ever watch Krampus?
No.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Just like your typical kind of campy slasher horror movie.
It's dark. It's a little dark, too.
Is it?
I mean, it's campy, but it's dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, last dark match I had. This is another one-sided affair. We have in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, they talk about silver and gold, because Yukon Cornelius, silver and gold. And then they sing the song, silver and gold. So this is the silver and gold match. We have Bill Goldberg versus NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
Jesus.
Goldberg took that one in about half a second.
I can't stand Bill Goldberg, but I mean, man, it's...
Yeah, Adam Silver tried to get in there, but Goldberg just no-sold him and just like stepped on him.
He tried to create a mid-match tournament for no reason.
Stop the match. We got to have a little tournament here for no reason. That doesn't mean anything. What even is the point? Does it do you get anything from that? I can't remember.
I don't know if it helps. I don't know, man.
It's such a weird
It's so
thing.
complicated. I just didn't even care to pay attention.
You're also not like a huge NBA fan anymore, right?
No, it's the LeBron effect, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I follow him and I watch him, but
yeah. Okay, now we got the actual televised event here.
Yeah, this is
Get the ceremonies going with the little national anthem here.
When they announce, welcome to Ultimate Showdown.
Ultimate Showdown. To honor America.
That was pretty good. That's pretty good. If you're hiring WWE.
Yeah, there we go. I can do just that part.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, there we go.
If you're hiring Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Super Bowl. Super Bowl TM. Super Bowl Incorporated.
All right. Performing the national anthem, musician and composer Danny Elfman.
Yeah.
In what will be the goofiest national anthem of all time.
Bim, 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 bim.
It kind of sounded like the beginning of the Simpsons theme.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he does the
right,
the
I know,
Simpsons
I know.
intro. That was the first thing I came up with.
I gotcha.
Yeah. I can only imagine what that would sound like. That's a good choice. Yeah. He's the singing voice of Jack Skellington in Nightmare Before Christmas.
That tracks.
Yeah. So he wasn't, I don't think he was good enough to do like the acting, like the regular voice, the speaking voice, but he does all the songs for it.
So you ever watch the Family Guy Star Wars?
Yeah.
Well, when they're redoing A New Hope, and they're like, John Williams.
The orchestra gets torched along with.
Great. Now we have to finish this with
Amber.
Danny Elfman. And he just chops his head off with the lightsaber.
Oh man, it's so funny. I haven't watched those in so long.
Yeah.
I used to really love those.
They're really good.
Yeah, especially that first one. It was on TV all the time.
Oh, it's so good. Empire's pretty good, but the Jedi one is not.
Yeah, they phoned it in, and they make a lot of jokes about that.
Oh yeah,
they phoned it in.
In the opening scroll, they were like, don't have very high expectations. This one's bad.
And that's the one, like toward the end, they're like pointing out plot holes.
Yeah.
And Lois as Princess Leia, she's like, yeah, it's not as good as Empire.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the main card, I guess, right? I have kind of a weird one, a different one, kind of switching it up here. This one's not really a battle per se, but it is a competition. We're barking at people as they leave now.
We cameo by Sasha there today.
Yeah. Hey, quit. Lay down.
I think she was upset Ash left.
Yeah. Come back, Mark.
Kita's got to stand over top of her.
Yeah. I must be taller than you. Anyway, so got a kind of a different one here to switch it up. It not a fight really, but it is a competition. This is a Christmas lighting competition.
Okay.
Between Tim Taylor and Clark Griswold.
Oh man.
Round one.
The way this is going to work, it's going to be kind of happening behind the scenes. One of those where we kind of throw back to it periodically throughout the show, and then we'll figure out a winner just before the main event.
I dig it.
We'll figure that one out. So yeah, just starting out. We got Tim Taylor, Tool Time fame, and Clark W. Griswold. I guess just they both have their houses, and they have all the necessary equipment that they need to decorate their house for Christmas.
So I think it starts out like this. Clark doesn't have a plan. He just puts the lights up, obviously.
Yeah.
Just staple. Wherever a light will go, that's where it goes. Tim's going to have this well thought out plan, even though it's going to blow up.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
So Clark gets the early lead. Just because it's a quantity over quality situation.
Yeah, he's just going to go to it. He does have a big wad of lights to detangle, though.
Correct.
So that'll just slow him down a little bit. But he's going to hand it off to Russ. It'll be fine.
And, well, Russ has got to feed the hog. Yeah. He's got homework to do during Christmas break.
Russ!
Right here, Dad.
Yeah, so
yeah. So we'll back up. The match starts with Tim devising his plan and Clark untangling everything. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but yeah, I like your idea there, where he's just going for it. They both have kind of a disadvantage though of their own that kind of balances them out, I guess. Because Clark just has like the equipment, just like is not going to work very well for him because that's just his MO. And Tim, we all know what happens with Tim when he gets a little creative. So. We'll see how that goes. We'll check on them later. So moving on to our real opener here, our first match. Again, not really a match, but in a Mario Kart style race around the arena, around the ring in the middle, we have a track laid out. So first competitor, we have Rainn Wilson on a John Deere.
Of course, right? Naturally.
Red Foreman on a Greenworks lawnmower, zero-turn mower. We have Leslie Mann on a snowmobile. We have WWE's Kane in the candy cart from Wreck-It Ralph. And dancing legend Ginger Rogers in an old bread truck.
Round 2.
So I got a little stats here just so we know.
Okay,
because I had to balance it a little bit.
First off, what's the difficulty level on the track?
Oh, let's do like the 150 cc or whatever it is.
Okay.
Unless you want to do 150 mirror, no, just do regular straight up 150. Okay. Yeah. So. I looked up a few things. This is an X700 series John Deere lawn tractor. It's about max speed is about 8.5 miles per hour. The Greenworks, it's a Maximus Z zero turn. So zero turn got a little more mobility. Top speed about 8 miles an hour. The snowmobile is permanently stuck in first gear.
Okay, I was wondering how that was going to
balance it out. Yeah.
God, you imagine how loud that is?
Yeah. And it's just
it's like
scooching.
It's like when you're riding your bike and you have it on the lowest speed, but you're just trucking, and it's like you're moving like
just crawling.
Yeah,
it's like just like an old lady walking past you.
Yeah. And you're sweating because you're pumping so hard.
Yeah. The candy cart from Wreck-It Ralph. Are you familiar with that? You ever watch Wreck-It Ralph?
I'm familiar with it. I don't. I mean, I'm familiar with what it is.
The movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like basically the premise is he's a character in like an old video game, kind of like a Donkey Kong-ish kind of game where he's like the villain and he destroys the building basically, and you got to stop him. But he leaves that video game, his arcade cabinet, and then he goes into this other game that's a racing game, and it's like candy themed. So all the carts are made out of candy and cookies and stuff like that.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah. So if you look up just the candy cart, like that's the main one. It just looks like a little, I don't know. They called it something when I looked it up, but it just looks like a race car. But it's made out of candy and cookies and stuff. It's also like sized for a small girl. So 6'5", 300-pound cane. Probably not going to have a lot of success in that thing. So
that's a fantastic visual. Is this masked cane or post-mask?
That's a good one. I'm thinking masked cane.
Mask? Okay.
I'm going masked
because
cane
of his post that he was a brutal psychopath.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm thinking mask on cane. Can you just imagine those locks flowing?
Oh yeah.
In that candy cart.
Would they be flowing though?
No, probably not. Because
Not
yeah.
exactly
So and I'm thinking he's pretty big. Also, these are like giant actual cookies that this is made out of. So it's probably gonna break down pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then the last one we had Ginger Rogers in the old bread truck. You know what a bread truck is?
Like the nickels, like a nickel.
Yeah. I'm thinking this is like an old beat down one.
Yeah.
One you'd see in like the back of like a hoarder's house.
Yeah.
So that kind of evens it out, I think, a little bit, evens up the stakes here. So I guess we'll just get into it. Who do you think? I think first off,
who's driving the ginger truck?
The bread truck is Ginger Rogers. The ginger truck, yeah. I mean, you had the right name. Yeah, Ginger Rogers and the bread truck. I guess first thing, I see the bread truck. It's pretty worn down. In order to balance it out to be like on par with the other four, it's got to be pretty much a total beater. And I just think it blows a gasket right at the takeoff.
You know how in Mario Kart when you're trying to time up,
you hit a little too early.
Yeah,
and
he stalls out right at the beginning.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening with the bread truck. It's just done.
This is kind of like Wacky Races.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, and that's what I'm picturing, where they're just like trying to use whatever they have at their disposal to screw up the other drivers. So, yeah, I guess we're basically down to 4 right away. Now the snowmobile doesn't have. I mean, it's got the best traction probably for this track, the snow track, but doesn't have the best handling capabilities. The snowmobile.
And I'm just picturing Leslie Mann drive it, and it's so funny to me. She's so great.
Yeah, she's
so
just
good.
Hilarious and everything. Yeah.
Well, Red Foreman's just gonna, be calling everybody a dumbass the whole time.
Yeah, he's gonna be pissed off. He's also probably gonna be pissed off that he's on an electric mower.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He might be getting in his own head a little bit. Yeah. Might get in his way.
I think
he also might be just like the foil to everybody. Everybody else is gonna take the race seriously, and he's gonna go in just to purposely screw up everybody else.
I feel like Red would take a lap, realize he hates it, pull it off into the pit or whatever, and somehow convert it into a good old-fashioned American gas lawnmower.
Yeah.
And then he's back in, but he's got to make up a lot of laps.
Yeah, he'd have to do it pretty quick and then somehow zoop it up to where he can. But it is a zero turn. Those things can cook.
Yeah.
So he might be able to outpace the regular John Deere up there.
I could argue Rainn Wilson's the most ruthless in this match.
Yeah, I mean it's not Dwight Schrute. It's Rainn Wilson, the actor.
Okay.
So he probably still has a little bit of the Dwight energy in him, but not quite as bad as Dwight would have.
That's fair. Kane in the candy cart.
Yeah, so I did have a note for that one.
I'm just picturing his like big ass knees hanging out, and he's like all scrunched up.
I don't know if he'd have to like do like one big toe on the pedal.
We got to get AI to create something like that. Yeah. Stand by.
While you're doing that, I guess my first thought with that one is that he's just immediately gonna break through the floor. I assume it's made out of like gingerbread or something. Not exactly sturdy enough to hold a 300-pound cane. So he's gonna break through the floor, but then it'll still be intact otherwise. So he's gonna try to like Flintstones it.
Yeah.
And honestly, he might actually be able to move that thing pretty good, compared to a lawnmower. That looks like Bane. Not
I know.
The like onesie he's wearing, or what do you call it?
It's like
singlet thing.
Yeah,
he's wearing?
It looks like
Kane.
It's like Bane Kane.
Yeah. That's funny. That's like a bus that he's driving.
I said the candy cart from Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what it came up with.
It's close. It looks like it's definitely, it was like what an extra was driving in the background.
It's like if Candyland and Mad Max combined.
Yeah. That's exactly what it looks like. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, so I don't know. How do you think that snowmobile, whatever I just said, snowmobile, how do you think that's going to fare in this? Like I said, probably the best traction, but not the best handling. I feel like those things don't turn very
I think it's
well.
going to last. It'll last the longest because it's made for the conditions.
Yeah, it'll probably hold up. I don't know how well you're going to be able to take those turns. Probably like the John Deere, probably going to have to take some pretty wide turns on those. Have to slow down quite a bit.
How long do you think it takes Kane before he stops, gets out, and chokeslams somebody? I'm thinking 2 laps, and he's just out.
Hurting,
and he's tired of it.
He's probably actually, now that I think about it, he's probably, if Red is in the pit trying to convert his e-mower to a gas powered, he's probably the villain that's just gonna get out of the cart, break it over his knee, give it the spine buster.
Yeah.
To the cart somehow, and then just like start walking around,
just beating up Red Foreman,
clotheslining somebody, whoever of Leslie Mann or Rainn Wilson, whoever gets to him first, he's just gonna try to clothesline him or like throw one of the cookie wheels at somebody, and then go in for the choke slam. So I guess it just depends who gets to him first.
Is Kane's pyro in the match?
That will have an effect because it's just gonna melt the track.
So is Kane out?
I think Kane's out
because his anger
he's
gets
just way too big. He gets frustrated. He tries to Flintstones it, but it can only sustain you so far.
Him Flintstoning it, that is what sets him off the edge to get out of the car and just start running amok.
Uh-huh.
So now we're down to what? Rain, Red, and Leslie, but Red's still in the pit. I don't think there's any way he gets caught up.
There'd have to be some sort of catastrophe between Rain and Leslie. If they're duking it out and they both kind of wipe out late, Red throws a blue shell at him or something.
Which I could see.
He might be able to catch back up if he really zoops up his thing, but he's got it's a lot of time he's got to make up.
Which I could see.
Yeah.
I also think Red would soup it up to where it'll go faster.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's going to be cooking. If it's a gas powered and it's a zero turn, it's probably going to have a little bit of speed relative to the other two, and it's going to be able to take those turns a lot faster than those two. So he's going to be able to make up ground. I don't know if he'll be able to make up that fast. That's why I say it's probably going to take like a 2-car pile up late in the race for him to get back into it.
You know what I'm visualizing?
Mm-hmm.
You know the scene. At the very end of Talladega Nights when they crash.
Yeah. It's like a 40-car pile up.
And they're just, it's a foot race then to the end. Yeah. That's what I'm picturing with Rain and Leslie. That they're trying to like fuck each other up.
Yeah.
And they both end up crashing. So then they're just like, screw it. And they're running.
And then here comes Red on a zero turn. Yeah. He finally caught back up.
Yeah.
And they just have completely disregarded him because he went into the pit fucking 4 laps ago or whatever it was.
Fist in the air, dumbass.
Yeah. Looks like you guys are playing for second place. What's better than second place? My foot in your ass. Something. I don't know. I couldn't come up with anything. But anyway, I think that makes sense to me.
I think
that tracks.
Yeah. I think Red takes it because he plays the patient game even though he's a very impatient boomer.
Very impatient, but he's gonna go with the good old fashioned elbow grease to save the day.
Because after this, he's gonna go to Afghanistan and recruit Rambo.
Yeah. You just keep pounding that metal. Just keep pounding that copper there, Rambo. Oh, John, put those sticks down. You don't need to fight like that anymore. How about a gun? Anyway, Red Foreman takes it.
Vroom,
vroom. No?
I'm good. I just wasn't expecting it.
I riffed that. So you had a couple.
Yeah. I mentioned to you before we started recording that I'm getting to gimmick happy with these, where I think of all these characters, and then instead of just making specific matches, I just combine them into all.
Just mash them into one.
I'm
match.
hoping this will be the last time I do that,
Okay.
for at least for a while.
Yeah.
But we have 6 competitors in this match.
All right.
First one is Cindy Lou Who.
Okay.
We have
Which version of Cindy Lou Who we talking?
Jim Carrey.
Okay.
I got Ellen Griswold,
Okay.
the OG Mrs. Claus,
Just like the actual Mrs. Claus?
Yes.
Okay.
the Sugar Plum Fairy,
All right.
Clarice, who's Rudolph's
Rudolph's okay.
love interest. Yep.
Clarice the reindeer.
And yeah, and Elsa.
Oh, okay. Does she have her powers?
Yes. The Ladies of Christmas North Pole match.
Round 3.
It's not what you think. I just realized that. That sounds bad.
Okay.
It's not a misogynistic take. No. It's a ladder match.
Ladder match. Okay.
And they're climbing to the North Pole. That's the gimmick.
Oh,
is they're
so the pole is up in the air and they got to get to it?
It's the idea that they're climbing up.
Oh,
they're
that's
climbing
the
north.
Pole.
That's the North Pole.
Okay.
That's the idea behind it.
All right.
I didn't think of that until I said it out loud, and I was like, that sounds really bad.
I thought they were going to be climbing the pole. Like there was just going to be a pole in the middle and they got to scale it.
So it's the first to climb the ladder to the North Pole, quote unquote, and grab the golden ornament.
Okay.
And they're deemed the Queen of the North Pole.
Oh my God. That's funny.
The only weapons that are allowed in this match are the ladder, obviously, and a candy cane kendo stick.
Okay. Clarice the reindeer. That's a good one. So, is this just a regular wrestling ring, or are we in some sort of environment?
I'll stick with the snow theme. It's in a ring. It's in
It's
the
in a
same.
ring.
It's in the same arena.
Okay.
But they brought it like it's in the same arena where the track was for the last match, but the ring has been there the whole time. It's just it's in the middle.
It's got like the same ground as the track.
Yeah. The ring was there during the race.
Okay, gotcha. So it's just like a snow track, but it's a square.
It's just all the snow
ring.
remnants
Yeah.
and the
Gotcha.
elements are there. So
yeah, a couple of candy pieces from Kane's Rampage.
yeah. And like I said, the only weapons that are allowed are the ladder itself, or any ladder. You
Any
try
of the ladders,
and
a candy cane kendo stick.
yes.
That's so funny. Is it just a kendo stick that is stripy, or is it made of candy?
No, yeah, you can eat it if you want.
Does it have the same like springiness as a kendo stick?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's edible.
Yeah.
It's an edible kendo stick. Okay.
Yeah, so if you take one to the face, you instead of getting splinters, you'll get
Sticky.
peppermint shards.
Okay. Alrighty. So
I think he said sticky.
yeah. Okay, Cindy Lou Who is a child, so that's something. Mrs. Claus is an old lady. Sugar Plum Fairy has wings, so does she need a ladder? Could she just go?
I just realized this is a very not even matchup right here.
Yeah.
All right,
That's why I'm thinking no powers from
I
Elsa.
was gonna say let's try to even it out. Sugar Plum Fairy can't fly. She can't use her wings.
doesn't have the wings.
Elsa doesn't have her powers.
Yeah.
Clarice knows how to climb a ladder for being a reindeer.
I didn't even think of that. The ladder has hoof holds where she can just stick her feet in there.
If they can make a custom ladder for the big show, they can make one for Clarice the reindeer.
Yeah, super heavy duty steel reinforced ladder. Okay. All right. Yeah, so I think that balances a little more. I mean, we still have a child and an old lady, but still. So, like, no magic? 'Cause I assume the Sugar Plum Fairy has some magical abilities, too.
Yeah, let's just say they're all...
So just no powers at all.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
That keeps it as even as possible.
Yeah. So we got Clarice, which I don't know if... they don't really show it in the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I don't know if she can... Well, I guess we just said Sugar Plum Fairy can't fly, so I don't know. I was going to say I don't know if she can fly, but reindeer generally can fly. I don't know, but
We'll say no.
I guess I was just gonna say the athletic ability.
I was saying
if she could fly, she wouldn't be allowed to in this match,
Right.
so it doesn't matter. But I just don't know what kind of like speed range she's got. Her athletic ability, we never see that. She just sings,
I would assume
walks around.
she still has the athletic ability of a reindeer.
Yeah, just like your average reindeer.
Because we're not making Cindy Lou Chu. We're not making Cindy Lou Who into like have adult attributes. She's still a child.
Yeah, she's still a kid. Okay, all right.
And like OG Mrs. Claus is still
Just an old lady.
gonna be brittle.
Yeah. She seems tough though.
I feel like she is.
Yeah, she's got to deal with Santa all year.
She's the X factor in this match, I think.
Yeah, she's gonna be the sneaky pick here. I don't know why Ellen seems like kind of the badass of the group.
100%.
She seems like she would really go to town on some people.
Yeah. I mean, she figures out the light situation for Clark.
Yeah, that is true.
She's determined.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so I feel like she's probably the favorite in this one to start out. Speaking of wives, Mrs. Claus, she, like we said, I think she's probably the underdog. Maybe Cindy Lou Who just because she's tiny, but also Mrs. Claus is old, so she might be able to kind of lay low, and then kind of sneak in there and steal one. But I don't know.
I don't even think Cindy Lou knew. Oh my god, I can't say that name.
Cindy Lou.
I don't even think Cindy knows how to climb a ladder. Well, I'm sure she does. I don't know why I said that.
It's not like a complicated task.
Yeah, it's not like she's a toddler. But I guess
she's pretty small though.
I meant more like she can't climb it well because she's small.
Yeah, she'd probably have a hard time setting it up in the middle. So she'd have to wait till somebody else got one set up, and then try to scramble. She might be able to scramble pretty quickly though. She probably wouldn't make it very top heavy either. So she'd probably have better luck up at the top, maintaining the balance. But yeah, so I think Ellen is kind of the bad one that kind of goes in and starts taking people to town. Clarice probably just because the fact that she's a deer is probably going to be able to,
and she's
pack a punch and get some speed going. And
well, she's got those powerful back leg kicks.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, like she's going to be able to pack a pretty good punch, knock some people out here.
I think she takes out Cindy Lou Who immediately, and she's just done for the match.
She's just out. Yeah, waiting for her time. She's just like sneak. She's just like passed out in the corner of the ring the whole time. I think Ellen is probably taking on all comers, trying to get the ladder, but everybody else wants to take her down because she's the favorite. The fairy probably has the agility, maybe not agility, but like the grace, I guess.
I kind of feel like the Sugar Plum Fairy and Elsa go at it to start.
Yeah.
While Ellen and...
They seem like they'd be rivals for some reason.
Yeah. While Ellen and Mrs. Claus go at it at the beginning.
Yeah.
While Clarice is just running around the ring because she's a deer.
Yeah. She's trying to get in like kicks anywhere she can.
Yeah.
But then I think Ellen probably knocks out Mrs. Claus early and then goes for the ladder, but then everybody else kind of comes in and takes her out.
Yeah.
You're not climbing the ladder before me, kind of a situation. And then I think even with the hoof holds in the ladder, I feel like Clarice probably has a difficult time with that. It's because she's probably going to be the one that tries to make the climb afterward because the fairy and Elsa are going to go back at it. But she's going to be struggling. Got the little like baby deer legs going up. Yeah, so she probably struggles. Maybe the ladder gets knocked out at that point.
Oh, you know what?
And then the fairy and Elsa maybe stack up the ladder, start climbing both sides.
And at this point,
yeah,
Cindy Lou Who is starting to wake up from her coma.
Yeah, she's shaking it off.
And while Clarice is climbing, gets on her back. Because she's light and she can.
Yeah. But Clarice is just going to keep on trucking.
Keeps on trucking, knocks her off at the top.
Mm-hmm. She tries to reach, and then somebody else wiggles the ladder.
Cindy Lou's, again, done for another 10 minutes.
Yeah, because she just took a 12-foot fall. Yeah.
Which is like 20 for her because she's so
tiny.
Small. Yeah. And then at that point, everybody else comes and knocks the ladder over.
Yeah. So I think Mrs. Claus is still probably out. Ellen probably shakes off whatever she was dealing with. Yeah, and then probably comes in and tries to fuck up somebody. Either Elsa or the fairy, whoever's first, whoever she gets to first. Or she might try to do the sneak attack situation again, try to get the ladder back up, and the other two kind of swoop in. Of the fairy and Elsa, who do you think is going to end up kind of taking that little rivalry scuffle.
I think Elsa has the edge.
That's what I was thinking too. The fairy's probably got the agility, but not a lot of. I don't know. Elsa seems like she's kind of tough, pretty ruthless.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty. I feel like that'd be a pretty good matchup between Ella and Elsa.
You know, we got to remember
They're both pretty feisty.
we're not. We got to remember we got to take the elements into effect. I kind of forgot there's snow.
Oh, that is true. So Elsa probably does have the advantage, kind of over everybody still, even though she doesn't have her ice powers.
And Clarice.
Oh, Clarice
with the
too.
steps.
Yeah.
Still is going to be slippery for her.
Yeah. So, like, elements-wise, like, temperature-wise, she'll be fine. She's kind of built for that. But climbing, not so much. A little slippery there. But yet, Fairy, light on her feet, probably won't affect her as much.
Ellen still just doesn't care.
Yeah, she's
nothing
just gonna
bothers
truck through it, yeah.
Nothing bothers her.
She needs to get that freaking ornament down.
Yeah.
At what point do we think Mrs. Claus kind of shakes out of her stupor and kind of runs into... to make her claim here?
I think it's like the first or second time she sees Ellen going up to almost grab the ornament.
Yeah, I think we get like an Elsa Ellen kind of both climbing the ladder opposite sides.
She knocks
They're
Elsa
like
down.
doing like the trading punches at the top situation, and then Mrs. Claus kind of just like wiggles the ladder, and they both go tumbling.
I was thinking they did their trading punches. She gets the final blow on Elsa. Elsa falls. She climbs one more rung and is about to grab it. That's when OG comes out, shoves the, shakes the ladder.
Yeah.
And then like
knocks her out.
Power slams her or something.
Yeah. Catches her.
Yeah.
In air. Does the finisher, whatever her finisher
gives her the old fashioned classic Mrs. Claus Samoan drop.
Yeah. And then Mrs. Claus takes the climb at that point.
But she's older, so the arthritis is kicking in.
It's going to take a little bit, yeah. She's got to pop some Aleve on the way up.
It's taken her a while to get up there, and it takes her a little too long for her to win, unfortunately.
Yeah, who comes in there? I feel like the fairy, we haven't heard from the fairy in a while. You think the fairy's shaking the dust off?
Yeah, the fairy and Elsa's she's strong enough to shake it off from falling off a little bit ago. Mm-hmm. I think they come.
So the fairy kind of come out. They reignite that rivalry from earlier.
They shove the ladder over, get the ladder down, so the ladder's not up anymore.
Yeah, to
give everybody kind of a reset, like they do.
Everybody's just like kind of shaking off their.
Everybody's just in their own corner, dead. Right.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the paramedics are tending to Cindy Lou Who because she's again a child.
She fell 15 feet from the air.
She's out of the match. They put the X up for her. She's in critical condition because she's dying.
There's some veterinary EMTs that come in to look after Clarice.
They bring in Beth from Rick and Morty.
There you go.
She operated on that deer that one.
She's a horse surgeon. It's close enough to operate on a reindeer, even one that's made out of cloth and steel.
So while the cart's coming out to haul Cindy Lou away.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part of the match.
Cindy Lou just getting hauled away.
Zero competitiveness throughout this whole match.
Yeah, no, she gave it a shot. She reached a little bit, but
I gotta say,
immediately.
Can I say this though? I think it's a little alarming that we're putting this much damage on a child.
Yeah, we're emphasizing that much so much. Yeah, that's a little rough.
It's fictional. It doesn't matter.
She pulls through.
It's not real.
She's gonna come back out with her ribs taped up.
Yeah,
in the next week. Yeah, she's fine.
She doesn't die. She wins the title in like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
it's okay.
She makes her comeback at the next pay-per-view.
That just makes a perfect baby face because everybody's rooting for her to come back.
Yeah, she's got to make her comeback. Yeah, so Cindy Lou's just officially out.
She returns at the Rumble and eliminates Elsa and Sugar Plum at the same time.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting too ahead.
Yeah,
we can make a whole year's worth of matches.
We probably could with
these
just
women.
these 6. Yeah.
All right.
So Mrs. Claus, I think, probably broke a hip on her way down the last time.
So Mrs. Claus is out, broke a hip. Cindy Lou's on her way to the hospital.
I think Clarice is probably out because she was with Cindy Lou when she fell. She's also pretty small.
Yeah, and
even for a deer.
She's got double the legs, so at least one of them broke.
One of them probably did break. Yeah.
So while Beth Smith from Rick and Morty's working on her next to Cindy Lou.
Who's getting hauled away in the paddy wagon.
We got Ellen, OG Claus, and Elsa.
No, Ellen, the Sugar Plum Fairy,
Yeah.
and Elsa, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think at that point, they put their rivalry aside.
Sugar Plum and Elsa?
Because they're smart. I think they're smart.
Yeah.
And they realize...
Ellen's probably the biggest threat.
Ellen's been the biggest threat in this entire match.
Yeah.
We got to take her down.
Yeah, they do the double clothesline.
They do. They team up on her. They take Ellen out like they... Let's just say...
She's outside the ring.
They put her through the announce table.
Yeah, that snow sculpture over there.
Who's calling the match, by the way?
Jack
Frost and...
That's a good one. That's a good question. Jack Frost would be a good one, especially the Jack Frost from the one Santa Claus movie, because it's Martin Short. I feel like he'd be a pretty good like heel commentator.
Yeah.
Who else we got over there? Like Yukon Cornelius.
Okay.
I feel like he'd be a good play-by-play guy.
He's a good Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. All right.
Yeah.
The announcers for this, Jack Frost and Yukon Cornelius.
Yukon Cornelius.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And it's in ice sculpture is the announce table.
Yeah. Ellen goes through the table. It's just those two.
Yeah, now
they're going. Ladder's still down.
Yeah.
They're fighting for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
going through a
the brief alliance is already broken.
Every time they try to put up the ladder, they knock it out of their hands, and
they're going blow for blow.
I just think they get to the top, and it's one of those. They're so entrenched with beating the other one, they forget that Ellen is slowly rising from the snow ashes.
Yeah.
And comes back into the ring.
Yeah, she sets up her own ladder next to theirs, climbs up while they're trading blows at the top,
takes her
kicks the other ladder over.
They go flying over the ring.
Yeah, yep. And then she reaches and
grabs the golden ornament.
She takes it. I like that. I don't know why that gave me chills. I just got chills in my scalp here. It might be unrelated, but I don't know.
So the winner of the Ladies of Christmas North Pole match and the Queen of the North Pole, Mrs. Ellen Griswold. Ding, ding.
Oh, that was good. That was a good one. Okay.
All right. Well, we need to check in.
Yeah, we need a palate cleanser here after that one.
Well,
so
we need to check in on our
on the lighting competition. Let's see how Clark. He just got news that his wife just won the Queen of the North Pole title, so he might be a little distracted after that one. But
I feel like he got enough of the lights up to go watch the match.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrate with her for real quick. Help her to the back.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Get her to medical, or get her to see the medic, and then he's back out.
He's back out, pumping those lights out.
Meanwhile, I think Tim is just still he's getting
something's on fire. Probably
he's getting to the end of he's just starting.
Yeah, he just figured out all the plans. He's got everything kind of set up where he needs it, and then now he's actually started on putting it on
I
the
think
house.
he had to wait for the crew to show up so he could film tool time while he's doing it.
Yeah, tool time on location.
Yeah, and
for our salute, ching 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 to Santa Claus, or whatever. I don't know.
Nobody could see that.
They could see it in their mind. I think they knew what we were talking about.
So, okay, I guess, how do you win this match? Is it the first to cover your house, or is it like go by...
I think it's a judge. We're judging the lights.
So it's
at the end. It's gonna be like an audience poll.
So quality and quantity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
the best combination of both.
The best overall light display. Yeah. So if you got like a cool display, if you got a cool display, or just like a fuck ton of lights and they still look good, I feel like it could go either way. You could be a good combination of both situations. But we're going by audience poll at the end. So at this point, Clark has more done.
I think he has,
but
it's
probably a lot simpler.
Yeah, I think he has about 3/4 of his house done.
Yeah, but and what we saw in Christmas Vacation, he was going all white lights. It was just solid white all the way down, which is not exactly appealing to the fans.
Correct.
But in this one, he's probably going to step it up a little bit. He's probably got a little more variety. He learned from his mistakes in that Christmas Vacation moment, but he still might be at a disadvantage because he probably doesn't know how many like where the lights are plugged in at and everything, how many extension cords he used.
It's after he gets it all done. That's going to be the time consuming part for him.
Yeah, figuring out.
That's when Tim's going to
which combination of switches he's got to flip to get it on.
That's when Tim Taylor's going to catch up.
Yeah, and then he's got to get Ellen out of the infirmary to help him figure out the light switches.
I think, yeah. I think Tim Taylor has like, you ever see those houses that somehow they like put the lights up and it's just like it outlines the roof of their house? Like,
oh yeah,
I think he's got that part done.
Yeah,
because he wants it the main outline
he's
done.
He's got to get the outline and then he's got to add the detail.
Yeah. I think that's where we're at right here.
Yeah, that's probably where he's at. Yeah, and then Clark, we said I had about 3/4 of the way covered.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just lights, just straight lights. He doesn't have a whole lot of fancy stuff. He's got maybe the plastic Santa and reindeer kind of out front, but that might be about it. Okay, so we will we'll check in a little bit later on that one. Moving on to our next one. I think we've both agreed we've been talking way too long for this to be a one-part special. So since it's the holidays, we're gonna give you the gift of a 2-part episode.
The gift that nobody asked for.
Surprise. It's the 2 crazy nights of Hanukkah. No, that doesn't work? No? Okay.
That's a technical foul. I gotta watch that movie again.
It's been so long. It's been a while. I wonder how well it holds up.
Probably not well. Like
well.
Any
I hope
Adam
it does,
Sandler
but
movie.
it may not. Yeah. But
man, I just watched Waterboy the other day again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, a lot of stuff doesn't age well.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It's rough, but it's so funny.
But like I said, I'm not
moments,
like I always keep in mind the time it was made, and it's like again,
you have to remember the context. Yeah.
I'm not going to be offended by comedy unless you're intentionally trying to be hurtful.
That's the thing for me usually. Yeah, if you're intending to be just mean spirited, then yeah, it's a little different. But in the spirit of Christmas, we'll give you a 2-parter here. But this
everybody
is
likes extra presents.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Imagine waking up on December 26th and there's more presents under the tree. That's what's happening here.
Listen up, Mom.
We should talk. We get like 4 Christmases.
I know.
We have like 4 days where we have to, not have to, we get to enjoy presents on like 4 different occasions.
Well, I want 5.
Okay. But because of that, because we have a part 2, we're going to do the first night main event here. This is a mountaintop mayhem match.
Oh, God.
It is a triple threat match sponsored by Yeti.
I dig it.
It is scheduled for one fall.
One fall.
We have the abominable snow monster from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the snow ghost from Scooby Doo, Where Are You?
Yeah.
And then the third competitor, we have Buffalo Bills left tackle, the Snowman, Dion Dawkins.
Round 4.
And again, it's a mountaintop match, so it's pretty cold situation here. We're actually on the top of like a cliff, a snowy cliff. So got to keep that in mind.
Okay, so we got a mountain, what? Mountain Valley?
Mountain Valley. A mountaintop mayhem match.
Mountaintop mayhem match, okay.
Sponsored by Yeti. On like a snowy cliff mountaintop kind of situation. So we got some weather conditions to take into account.
Like cliffhanger?
like Cliff and
Hanger.
Yeah, Cliff and Hanger.
The law offices of Cliff and Hanger.
Yeah. So, yeah, the abominable snow monster. But this is the toothless, like civilized version from the end of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And then the snow ghost. I looked up a little bit. He's pretty tall. He's like, looks like he's like about 7 feet tall, maybe. He's pretty strong. He lifts Scooby Doo like over his head. Scooby Doo's a Great Dane. It's a pretty
Scooby's
big dog.
yeah.
And then he moves fast on these like invisible skis.
Yep.
Made of glass or something, so he doesn't look like, it looks like he's flying.
Yeah.
Flying really weirdly though, like he just like flies standing straight up. It's like I don't know, it definitely looks weird. So we have that.
Every Scooby Doo episode is fucking weird. What are you talking about?
If you really break it down, yeah, it's definitely an odd one. And then the snowman Dion Dawkins, he's got his pads and he's got like the normal like cold weather football gear, got like sleeves on. He's got the extra layers. He's got one of those like face mask things that covers the bottom half of your head.
Who is it again?
Dion Dawkins.
Oh, he's from the Bills?
Yeah, the Bills tackle, yeah. His nickname's the Snowman.
I gotcha.
So we got the Snow Monster, the Snow Ghost, and the Snowman. Oh, I forgot to mention this part. The special referee is Frosty the Snowman.
Naturally.
So got that in play here. Yeah, Dawkins has like one of those big jackets they wear on the sideline too while he's not fighting, just to keep him warm. And then, just so we're all on the same page, I wrote out this the Snow Monster, the Bumble, the Abominable. He's kind of the baby face of the trio. The Snow Ghost is the heel, and then Dawkins is kind of like one of those like tweeners where he's like for some people he's kind of a fan favorite. He's a face, but he's like some people like him, some people hate him.
Is he kind of like it's kind of like CM Punk?
Yeah, kind of, yeah, or like John Cena back in the day where he was a baby face, but a lot of people were sick of him.
It would have to be back in the day because he's universally loved now.
Yeah, back in the like, let's go Cena sucks kind of days where half the arena hated him.
Where it wasn't ironic.
Yeah, so that's where we are. We got a triple threat match between these guys. Obviously, the Bumble, the Abominable, he's got the size, he's got the strength, but he's also like doesn't have like the mental aggression anymore that he used to have. He used to have a pretty good appetite, but he's a face now. He doesn't really have the gumption, I guess, to take anybody out.
So a mountaintop mayhem match.
Yeah.
And they're fighting on the mountain of cliffhanger.
Yeah, and it's just like a normal pin submission
just
match.
On a
but I mean, if you tumble down the mountain, then you're basically out. But that doesn't mean you're not officially eliminated, but you're just kind of like geographically eliminated.
By the time you get back up,
the
match is gonna be over. I gotcha.
For
the elements, I think. I mean, Dion Dawkins isn't gonna last very long.
Yeah, no, he can hold in there pretty well. Like he does play for the Bills. Like he's pretty used to, but like not so much like mountaintop conditions.
I think he puts up a good fight, and
he
it's
probably hanging there for a little while.
Abominable, was it? Abominable Snowman? No, Abominable what?
Yeah, you can call him Snowman. That's what a lot of people call him. He's the abominable snow monster of the north.
Okay, so the snow monster just basically backhands him.
Yeah, just one good swat. Yeah.
And if that doesn't kill him, the fall down the mountain will.
See, I don't know how strong he is because the snow monster. Because Yukon Cornelius, once his teeth get removed and he's like kind of on his heels a little bit. Yukon Cornelius, who's just like a normal dude, is able to just like shove him off a cliff. So like he's not like a behemoth here. He's pretty weak without the teeth. Without that fury he's got in his eyes, and the only people he really attacks are like a deer. So a left tackle, an NFL left tackle, might be able to hold his own for a little bit against him.
6'5", 320.
Yeah,
I still don't.
Pretty tough. I just feel like he's probably gonna get kind of swatted out of the way early on.
I just think he's gonna succumb to the elements eventually.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a match that's going to be pretty short. Like he can. I feel like he could handle being out there. If he's like fighting, he's going to keep the blood flowing.
Well, he's going to have to layer up and bundle up a lot more.
So the Snow Ghost is actually just a human in a costume. So he's also just a person.
Sure.
But he's layered. He's got fur.
Yeah. So my point is Dion Dawkins got to layer up. He's going to lose some of his mobility.
Yeah. But the way I picture it, he's probably just going to have like the sleeves and like maybe some gloves or something like you'd see a football player playing in a snow game.
Yeah, but I don't think that's good attire for a fucking mountain. I think he's going to need to be layered up more than that.
Yeah, probably. But it's not like blizzard conditions. It's pretty cold, but not necessarily blizzard conditions.
Would you like to add to something, Keita?
Oh, we got some input from the dogs here.
Would you like to add
anything?
Anything?
No.
Anything to add? No.
What do you think about the snowman?
Would snowman win?
What about you? Anything over here? Peanut gallery? No? Oh, just a burp. Cool. Appreciate that one. It's good input.
More than what Kita gave.
Dynamite drop in. Okay. But yeah, I think he could probably stay in it long enough to get some good blows in. He might be able to kind of go head to head with the Snow Ghost. So how I see it starting out, at least, is because they're both faces. The Abominable and the Snowman are they're both faces. So I feel like they're gonna team up against the heel, the Snow Ghost, at least to start out. Because they're not gonna want to kind of turn on each other right away. They're not really rivals. They're gonna go after the heel first off, and he's probably the biggest threat, honestly, to both of them. Because I feel like the Abominable, he doesn't have the fire in his eyes anymore ever since he lost his teeth.
He lost his eye of the tiger.
Yeah, and then and Dawkins, he doesn't have the advantage in the elements. He's definitely at a disadvantage because it's on a mountain. So I feel like they team up against the Snow Ghost first off, and he probably holds his own pretty good there because he's got the moves on those skis, and he's pretty strong. He's like 7 feet tall.
So my thought with the skis, I don't know who it would happen to. It depends on who's giving him the tougher matchup. But he's going to use those skis to eliminate one of his opponents.
To, like, knock him off the mountain? Or
like, he's going to take him off and he's going to trip him up where he falls on the skis.
Oh, they land on the skis?
And the skis take him all the way down the mountain.
Okay.
And yeah, based off the points you've made, I think it's gonna be Dawkins.
He's probably gonna put up the biggest fight against him. Yeah,
and finally, it's his last resort where he takes off the skis.
Yeah,
kind of gives him a shove.
And he doesn't realize he took them off because they're almost invisible in the snow. Yeah, so he just kind of accidentally steps into them. And then whoosh,
all the way down.
There he goes.
Yeah.
He's backwards the whole time. Whoa.
So he's out.
Yeah, so he's kind of out. Yeah, but he put up a pretty strong fight. A strong fight that too. A pretty strong fight for being in the snow on a mountain. Keep in mind, we do have Frosty the Snowman as the special referee, and I also see the Snow Ghost, the wily Snow Ghost. He's going to be the one that kind of sneaks up against on Frosty while he's maybe like attending to something else that's going on, knocks his hat off. Now Frosty, our referee, is unconscious because he reverts back to a normal snowman.
That's a very creative ref bump.
He's just stuck there until somebody can get that hat back on him. But it's pretty tough now. Now it's 1-on-1 because Deion Dawkins is out. He's down at the bottom of the mountain.
That clearly gives us
hanging out with the
Snow Ghost.
Hanging out with Sly Stallone down at the bottom of the mountain.
Who's the heel? The Snow Ghost.
Snow Ghost, yeah.
That gives the advantage to him, and I think he just
he's probably doing some dirty stuff.
Goes to town on the snow monster, and like you said, without his teeth, he's very teeth. Without his teeth, he's very passive.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think he could probably take a lot of damage. He can probably handle a lot. He's not going to be dishing much out, but he can probably handle a lot of it.
What I see playing out? He's just getting the shit kicked out of him while the ref his hat is gone, and it kind of becomes a Back to the Future situation with George, where he just puts up with all this shit from
and then the rage builds up. He gets those 5 seconds of courage. Yeah.
Just gives him a solid knockout blow.
Just a full-on, just full-bodied right hook.
And then he picks it up. I'm just going to say he can talk. Picks it up. He goes, "Hey, you drop this."
Frisbee's in it.
Into Frosty.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
And then he wakes. So Frosty wakes up. What did I miss?
He wakes up and sees Snow Monster he's
tumbling. Yeah,
he's tumbling, and by that time the mask has come off. So you just see a guy. You just see an old stockbroker that whatever. tumbling down the hill
I think
with the bottom half of the costume.
Yeah, I think in that one he's the owner of the ski resort or something like that.
Yeah.
He's just like some old. He just looks exactly like a villain. Like as soon as you see him in the episode, like definitely that guy's the bad guy. Like who are we kidding here? And then it turns out that he is the bad guy. You're like, yeah, I told you. He looked like a crazy person.
I think by the time Jack Frost wakes up, or Frosty the Snowman wakes up, he looks up. What the hell happened? Sees the snow monster tumbling down. Well, I have no choice but to declare a winner.
Yeah, I don't know that he goes all the way down, but I think he's got enough of that rage, and he's probably knocked him unconscious enough that he can go down and drag him back up and actually put the pin on him.
Yeah,
it was enough strength behind that single right hook that there's no coming back from that one.
Ain't no goddamn way a Scooby Doo villain's winning a match.
No way. Yeah, the babyface takes it. Even if the snow monster gets a couple of good punches and knocks him down, we all know that Bumbles bounce. So he's gonna bounce back and take the win. We good with that one?
I'm good with that one.
Sounds good. All right.
The who won? Yeah, the abominable snow monster.
In the Mountaintop Mayhem match, sponsored by Yeti, the abominable snow monster wins it.
Ding ding. Sponsored by Yeti.
All right, that is the end of part 1. So still got more matches to come. I guess that's what we're doing in part 2. So stay tuned for that. But we hope you enjoyed this part as much as Yukon Cornelius loves silver and gold. And you can pay that love forward by sharing this podcast with your friends and family, any festive folks out there, Christmas celebrators, holiday enthusiasts. You can find us on Spotify and YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, so don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new episode. You can give us a rating, leave us a review, all that fun stuff. Tell people over the holidays that you found a good holiday podcast where Santa gets the shit beat out of him a couple of times.
And we crowned a queen of the North Pole.
Yeah, and it was Ellen Griswold's song. You can like us on Facebook, follow us at CCWisePod on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and Twitter. Yeah, I think that's about it for this episode.
Yeah, it was a good one. So go ahead and join us in a day or two or a week or whenever you feel like listening to part 2 on Counterclockwise.
And stay rolling. All right, that's I think I screamed that.
You quite did.
Yeah.
That was very loud in my ear.
I like leaned in at the same time. Like, yeah, that's not good. Can't do that one again.
You should have seen your face when you did it. You looked like happy angry.